Hello. We have something to discuss. What we must discuss today is this bill that is being put forward in the US Senate. This bill, the short name is Exclusive Citizenship Act of 2025. This I would not have picked up on unless someone else had made some information. So I'm really making this to share with you because I'm going, what is this? This seems quite insane. I'm at the top of it in its little short version here. This bill is being put forward to establish that citizens of the United States shall owe sole and exclusive allegiance to the United States and for other purposes. I don't know what the other purposes are, but it does seem quite suspicious. Let's quickly go through the bill before I give my opinion on it. So this is to establish that the citizens of the United States shall owe sole and exclusive allegiance to the United States and other purposes. They put that in twice. Man, these papers are just so boring. All right, they wish to. The purpose of this, apparently, is to preserve the integrity and national citizenship allegiance to the United States, and it must be undivided. They want to keep us united, hence the name United States. Existing law allows certain United States citizens to maintain foreign citizenship, which may create conflicts of interest and divided loyalties. I think that would apply to someone in government and positions of power, but for an ordinary pleb, such as myself, I have Australian and US citizenship. I just like being able to pass through the two ports with no worries. I just go through, coming to Australia, show my Aussie passport. They go, oh, you're coming home, leaving. They come, see an Aussie come home, see an Aussie leave. Come to the USA, I get the short line. Because I'm like, hello, I'm American, guys, and I'm coming home. I mean, that's how I got here in the first place, when they opened up all the borders. Opened up the world after that COVID period. Back to the paperwork. It is in the national interest of the United States to ensure that United States citizenship is held exclusively. They want monogamy, do they? Who made this? I just was so furious. I printed it out. I didn't find out who did this, but come on now. You want monogamy? What if I like a little bit of and I think that's what they don't want. They don't want any naughty business going on. Huh, wink, wink. But again, I think that really, any naughtiness is for people who hold positions of power, like a pleb like me. Come on, I just want to travel. Is that so bad? I don't think so. This act in general, except as otherwise, this act that is used in immigration laws shall have the meaning given such terms. Okay, that's boring paperwork. Foreign citizenship, here we go. The term foreign citizenship means any states recognized by the government of a foreign country that confers in an individual the nationality or citizenship of such country or requires the allegiance of an individual to such country. Okay. Again, this seems like it would go elsewhere, not to an ordinary pleb. I'm going to skip ahead. I'm going to skip ahead now. I'm going to skip ahead to the next bit because it goes on the prohibition on dual or multiple citizenship. So this section really says if you have US citizenship, it's this or that. It's you're with us or you are against us. That's what I'm seeing in here. Even you can read it. It's out there on the internet to go here, but I highlighted it here because in general, they want to put this bill forward. And in general, once this bill comes in, no later than 1 year of the date of the enactment of this act, a citizen of the United States who also possesses foreign citizenship shall either A, renounce their US citizenship, or B, renounce the foreign citizenship. Excuse me, that was the other way around. All right. A is giving up the foreign citizenship, and B is giving up the US one. And if you are non-compliant, that is option number 2, then you just revoke your US citizenship. You give it up. That's it. Oh, and this is the fun bit. The last part of it says, who gets to do it? This guy just pawns it off and says, the department, who is it? The Secretary of State's going to do this work. The Attorney General and the Secretary of Homeland Security, they're going to do the work, and that's what they're going to do. They're going to do that. Okay, great. That's the paperwork side of things. I'm going, how did we even get to this point? I'm really looking at this, how this coming to the USA, what does the USA advertise well? They advertise this freedom, liberty. You can do whatever you want. Pew, pew, whatever you want. That's what it really advertises. But this bill seems to really going against it. It's saying it's this or that. You have A or B. Any other further choices are not looked at. No, sir. No, 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 no. Now this, I wouldn't really fuss upon, because if you're an average USA person, it doesn't seem to affect you because this is where you live. If you are comfortable here, that is totally fine. If you use this lifestyle, that is great. But for people who think outside the box, people who go, actually, let's go explore the world, it's like you're punishing those people who think outside the box, who go, actually, let me just take some advantage to make traveling through Europe, through Asia, through the other parts of the world, let's make it easier by getting that second citizenship, by taking advantage of my heritage, taking advantage of the paperwork. Because really, that's all this is paperwork. We've seen with kind of ICE raids what's happened there with people who have not done the paperwork for their kids. It comes out. I remember when I was growing up, this leads into my other second point, so I might merge them together. Growing up, I'm one of the kids who I had no choice who I was born to and where I lived. Much like the rest of the population, because who chooses who your parents are? It's not this one. I just got to shut out the vaginal canal, and I'm like, oh my God, it's bright. I'm hungry. Oh, boobies. That was me for the first part of my life. I had no choice. And what's exactly? If you got some people who want to look for freedom and liberty, how many people who, in Ireland, they ran out of potatoes. That's one side of my family. They ran out of potatoes. They're like, we're starving, literally. We will sign whatever paperwork, work as a slave up in New England for a new life. Because the USA advertised liberty, prosperity. Woo-hoo. They took that chance. It's too far back now. I can't take advantage of a passport like that. But it still happens today. If the paperwork is not done, it's not done. I'm going to go make previous thing. If you haven't got your paperwork done, then you don't have citizenship. Why? Because your mum didn't do the paperwork when you came across the border when you were 6 months old. That's annoying. And when I was growing up in Australia, because born to an American dad, mum, Aussie. She's an Aussie one. They got married in Australia, moved back to the USA, and it so happens that my sister and I was born on US soil. Any choice in that? None whatsoever. They did the paperwork when MC and I were really young. I got citizenship by descent through my mother. Well, Dad was an American born in US soil. I got dual citizenship at a young age when I was 3.5. Thanks, Mom. Thanks, Dad. They did the paperwork. Flew back to Australia, and I stayed there. I stayed there until 3 years ago. Now I was like, let's come for the USA for a bit of an adventure. Ooh, adventure. But I've seen other kids where military kids born in the UK, live in Australia, and the parents, I mean, because at the time they're born in the UK, but they're not UK citizens. They're going, you're traveling, your parents are working, you get a US citizenship from the parent. When these kids hit 18, parents did not do the paperwork when they moved to Australia. Guess what? They were thrown out of Australia. They were saying, well, you're not a citizen of us. You got to go back home to the USA. And they're going, what on earth? They're kids that I grew up with. And you'd see them missing for 2-3 years in the USA, in what they considered a foreign country, just to come back home and live where they felt comfortable. See, in instances like that, this is missing that nuance. How many people out there who are children of military personnel, who are children of government people, who are out there, and they're born in the USA, but they grew up in Germany. They're going, whoa, they're gonna have to hustle and get their paperwork done for this. My last and final point is this. I dislike it because it is binary. It is this or that. It is us versus them. It is either you're with us or you are against us. There is no nuance in here. There's just, this is something, you might expect something in wartime. Like if we're talking about World War II, all the suspicions, oh, you sound a bit German. People were changing their names just because their ancestors came over from Germany and lived in the UK. They're going, oh, that's not my name. That's not my name. They were changing it because their loyalties were to the UK, but because their name sounded a bit German, or they'd get in super trouble. That's what this seems like. And just the creation of this bill gets me worried. If you're thinking this, I'm extremely worried. This is not very friendly. It's not very libertarian. It's not very free to restrict his citizenship. Oh, there is one point. One more. I didn't write any notes. This is quite off the cuff. I'm sorry. What do they have here at the end of it? What are they saying? The secretary, yes, to, failed to do it. The individual who doesn't do the paperwork voluntarily relinquishes the U.S. citizenship under this new bill. Now, relinquishing citizenship, if you do it beforehand, it costs you some money. There's something called an exit tax. There are two high-profile people that I can think about who relinquished the U.S. citizenship. That is Tina Turner, who became Swiss before she died, and Terry Gilliam, one of the Monty Python mob, who loved the UK, loved it, and then he said, I don't want to be a U.S. citizen anymore. And he has expressed in several interviews, and it's on his wiki page as well, where he goes back to the USA, and through immigration, he's treated like a criminal because he relinquished it and goes, I just, thanks guys, but it's just where I was born. There is an exit tax, and I just hope, if this bloody bill gets put through, which there is a possibility because it's being put forward. If this bill gets through, I really hope they make it easy for people who choose not to remain a U.S. citizen. This is not a choice. They put voluntary in the paperwork, but there's really no choice. Either you're with us or against us. So will that exit tax apply to people who say, I'm good. Because the exit tax only applies to people in this certain bracket of income. I'm certainly not in that. I'm a pleb. I'm a less than potato pleb. And this is being put up there. I don't know how to finish this video apart from, hey, thank you for watching. If you want to follow this journey that I'm on, finding out about this stupid stuff on immigration, just click the buttons. You know ones to click. I don't have to tell you. Click them if you want to. Up to you. But thank you for listening. Thank you very much for listening, and I'll keep doing some research on this stuff.